I want to talk about random. I'm sitting in the parking lot of Target right now. So you might ask why, because Target also has Starbucks. I went and got my Starbucks and I said, I checked into my hotel because I'm leaving today. And I checked into my hotel because I'm leaving today and I said, I'll just sit here like a bum in the parking lot of my truck and do my videos. Difference. So that's exactly what I did. Who pulled in beside me was Billy Davis, of all people. 2 Canadians from Ontario in this state. I didn't even know he was back yet. He pulled right in beside me. We just talked on the 2-year-old video about the horses he's driving this week. I might actually put him on Oso Pine tonight so I can get out of here. If I left now, I'm home at supper time. Possibility. So let's talk about the 3-year-olds quick. Again, I can't give you guys much of an update on the Ontario breds. They're ready to go. You guys watched Adrenaline Rush qualify. Better's Hope, Barbie's Crown. These horses are all qualified. And I know it's been tough. My partner Steve Palermo on Barbie's Crown's like, what do we do? Sell her? I said, what are we going to get for her? Nothing. I was happy with the way she qualified. And in fact, I think this time off will give us time to put weight on Barbie's Crown. When I go back tomorrow, actually, I want to make sure that they are feeding her lots, that she's eating well. I'd like to get her out in the grass if I could. So I will. May 6th is what it's looking like for Ontario. I would hope we get back racing. I would say this. The first second that Ontario even begins to open up, racing will be back for sure. I'm sure of that. I just don't know if I'm sure if it's May 6th. I hope so. So let's get right to it. Adrenaline Rush, as I said, qualified in 58. He needed another qualifier, so if they could train him in 59 or 2 minutes at the farm, bring him back for a qualifier in 55, 56 at Mohawk, I would be happy with that. But knowing James, he'll probably qualify him 57 and 3 and then want to come back or run him up the wood. He's ready to go. Adrenaline Rush is ready to go. Barbie's Crown, ready to go. Better's Hope, ready to go. All these horses are ready to go. We made a few little changes. We started baycoxing Better's Hope. I just felt him a little loose behind when he was pacing. Put a little blister on his knees, hocks, and stifles. Changed his shoes a little bit. Gonna train him at the farm, and then I want to know, how's he look? I might train him in the race bike Wednesday morning before I come back to Ohio, just to see how he is and get a feel for him. I might do that. Braemar, 53 and 1, first start back as a sophomore. Anybody that has a problem with the way Braemar raced, you should just sell your shares now, because if that was a disappointing mile to you, then you're about to be thoroughly disappointed for the rest of the year. Braemar raced like a monster. And if you look, and I'll give you my synopsis of what happened. He got out of the gate good. He followed good. When I asked him to really dig in the last turn, you see him get a little rolly and out of gear. I don't think there's any lameness. I think he's slipping. He just got 4 full swedges on. I said to Tim, if we can wear a hood with cups with a holes just to spark him up a little bit more, because he can really pull, but with that snake cord in his mouth, he's polite. Not many horses do that. You either get one or the other, and he's drivable and behaves with that snake cord on. So I think if we put a hood with cups, holes in it, sharpen him up a little bit so he's on the bit a little more, but he's still polite with the snake cord on, and put 4 aluminums on him. Now, aluminum shoes, there's some plus and minus there. Aluminum shoes got more grab. They're a lighter alloy. They can grab the track well. A lot of horses will come forward with them on. Problem is that alloy doesn't absorb as much stress, as much pressure, as much concussion as a steel shoe. So it's harder on them. Is Braemar going to stay sound with aluminums on? They're going to have to pay very, very close attention to that. If he starts to get a little pinchy or on the line a little more, immediately get them off him, give him a week off, have the vet look at him. I don't want to see this guy getting sore, but I think hood with cups next time. Now he's going to be off another week. So is he going to be as sharp? I don't know. I would say he's had a start. His 3rd start, which would be the 2nd start with aluminums and hood with cups, if that's a fast track with good weather and a good mile, or good fractions, I think he could go a big mile at the Meadows. I think he'll definitely get better with the aluminums on, but hopefully he stays on the right side of fence, the right side of the soundness fence when it comes to those shoes. Brilliant corners. Cherry's been training. I think this horse looks incredible right now. I can't wait to see him race in 2021. Can't wait to see them all race, but definitely this guy, I like what I see. He went from ignorant and crazy to complete lunatic all year, uncontrollable animal, to heavily sedated to train him down, to drivable, mildly behaved, and then all of a sudden, as a 3-year-old, a horse showed up, behaved, manners. I trained him in the jog cart a month ago. I thought he was incredible. I only went a mile 2:18, but everything he did was right. It's just so odd. Everything he did at 2 was wrong until he got to the races. But somewhere, somehow, in all that chaos, a good horse emerged, and I can't wait to see a Brilliant Corners race in 2021. Broadway Roll, trained her in 2 minutes at Saratoga on Saturday. Mark Beckwith told me she trained great and he really likes her. Awesome. He said he thinks So Admirable might need another. I'll get to them in a minute. Can't Muscle Me, again, I qualified her. She's qualified, ready to go. I'm excited to see her race this year. Captain's Maid. So we had an offer on Captain's Maid today. I was a little surprised. Not shocked. A little surprised. You know, she raced well. She did her work well. I was very happy with her. Don't know. But we did have an offer, and I don't want to talk about that offer. I talked to our clients about the offer. So we'll see what happens with where that goes from here. But has been racing great. Second at Flamborough, second both her starts at the Meadows, raced great the other day. Now, the other side of that coin, Short Fields, in with her own kind. Those aren't really stake horses, but she raced well. Second in 54, you know, raced very, very well in the mud her first start. I think she's been racing well. But the offer is substantial enough that I think our clients are going to have to take a serious look at it. Cut the Line. I wish we had an offer on Cut the Line. Nothing on her yet. I don't know what I'm going to do here. A couple of these horses have got me in a bad spot. Thank God for David Bolus, who reminded me that the Ohio sale entry deadline is Monday, because I think we have a few horses that could potentially be entered in that sale. At least people see them entered in the sale and say, hey, is that horse for sale? Even though we've been made it very clear that a few of them are for sale. First Glance is ready to go. He looked great training. I really, really like what I see. Now, Fox Valley Britska, little skinny. I would like to see more weight on this horse, but man, the performance he put on the other night was great, and I'll explain why. He was sore in the warm-up. I was going to say lame. I'll reserve that for horses that shouldn't race. He was sore. I think his right knee was bothering him. I think he was sore over the back. He just wasn't having a good day. Changed his equipment as per what I saw. Now, keep in mind, and I want to make this very clear, we changed his equipment. That's not to say he couldn't have trotted the way he was hung up. He could have. But we made some changes on him, and I told Chris Lems, listen, he's going to be a little hot tonight, going to be a little wound, and you're not going to be able to control him as you did last time. We took the snake cord off and put a jawbreaker on him. That's like the difference between, barbed wire fence and a donut. He was going to be aggressive, and he was, but Crest drove him good, and the horse dug in. He's turned into such a nice horse. Very, very impressed and pleased with him. Frilly Fringes, Jason, we're going to school her. She's at Northfield right now. I want to clean her up, get her trained up a little bit this week, and then we'll put her in this Thursday to school at Northfield Park. She's still a maiden. We can race her at Northfield or the Meadows. Want to get this filly back on track, especially since Sweet Ambitions arrived with that massive mile the other day. Let's get this one back on track. Gray is a New Red, raced good. Just got beat for second in 56-1. I think she should have been a winner, but she wasn't. She raced good. GW Chrome raced fantastic the other day. Wrapped up in 59 and looked good doing it. I used to call him the kid with the mullet, but he shaved. He cut his hair. He's not the mullet man anymore. Now he's just got a beard, a scruffy beard on his face, but at least he's cut. He's got a haircut. So Luke Eversole did a great job with GW Chrome, and he's going to drive him again. I don't need to say, hey, Luke, I'll take over from here. He did a good job. Keep winning. You lose, different conversation. Holy Chick is in to go Wednesday also. I am going to drive Holy Chick on Wednesday. It's going to be a chore. We're going to have to get all the horses trained. I'm going to have to get in the truck and get out of there around 11:30 on Wednesday to make sure I'm here to drive in the first race at Northfield Park. Aguilera M is back with Jason. She was sick. Her weight count was high. Her legs were stocked up. Not before where it was like allergy mucus. Literally sick this time. So no coughing, no massive discharge, just stocked up legs and a little high temperature. Everything's under control now. Tim had it under control. Jason's got it under control. We think we're going to have her healthy enough to go a very slow mile on Tuesday and then school on Thursday. I want her tight for the final. I got a little something for those fillies in the final at the Meadows. I've asked James to come over. I said, come over, get vaccinated, drive the filly and go back home. you know, I still think you'll be in plenty of time for, to race at Mohawk. It's got to be 14 days from the border to Mohawk, but I think he'll be all right. Where are we at now? I'm a Lovely Lady. I trained her Saturday. Ooh. I don't know what she's going to do on Monday, but she won't be getting away 6th. I can tell you that. I told Billy. She is plenty sharp now. I think that I'm a Lovely Lady will go big mile. Can she trot in 55 right now? Probably not. They go in 55, she's not going to win, but I think she'll be close. Italian Grit, picked for 2nd. Billy schooled Italian Grit on Thursday, so he's got a feel for him. Now he's got the rail, 5-2 on Tuesday. Good luck to Billy. I hope he races great. And what I did notice also, thank you, Brian Hockman, had sent me a message and said there's a ton of numbers of 1, numbers of 2, numbers of 3 classes and condition claimers there at Indiana written right now. I think Fox Valley Britsky and Italian Grit will be heading out very soon to go to Indiana. What do we got now? Oh, my girl, Jazzy Judy. I trained her for the first time as a sophomore on Saturday. She looks good. Real good. I know she's a Delaware bred, and a lot of people saying, she's got 3 wins, a lot of money. What are you going to do with her? This is a good-looking filly. I can't wait to continue to train her down. She's going to be another 6-7 weeks getting ready. But, man, she looked great, and Jimmy did a great job jogging her up and getting the legs underneath her. She looks sound. She looks comfortable. She looks cocky. I love Jazzy Judy. And I like her more because she jumped on Jason's foot the other day. He went to hook her head, and she jumped right on his foot. He's big toe. He looked like Fred Flintstone. But Jazzy Judy is training good. Keystone Raven, not so good. We're gonna have to make a move with her, I think. I know a lot of our clients have been putting the full court press on me for a long time about this filly. She was so well bred and looked so good. I really thought we'd be able to I really thought, once she came forward, she'd turn into a nice horse. A lot of the Bettor's Delights are slow bloomers, so I give them a little wider berth. This filly, I don't know, she's not there. I can tell you that. I trained her 2-4 at the farm, but 2-4 to 54 is 10 seconds and a football field of difference between this filly right now. So we're going to have to make a move on her, I think. Miss Meringue has started training back. She will likely join. Her and Rose Run Why Not will likely come over when we ship out the Indiana horses to Indiana. Mama Knows Best should be very good on Wednesday. She qualified grade 59 at Northfield. She hit her knee at Miami Valley. Never hit her knee in her life, but definitely, clearly, I'd sent the picture out to Bob Daly. He said, what happened to her? I said, he hit her knee. He said, you couldn't really tell in the video. And Jason sent me a picture. You can just see the hair come off the inside of her knee, the size of maybe a dime or a penny. In Canada, a penny is a 1-cent piece. They use them here in the States still. But she's fine. It could have been an anomaly, but at the end of the day, we put knee boots on her. She qualified great in the knee boots, no problem at all. My Jazz, a lot of people asking about Jazzy. So if you didn't see my opening, you didn't listen to it. My Jazz, when she qualified, a perfect storm. Probably a little bit sick and bled a tiny bit when Jason trained her. This is what I assume happened. Probably a little bit sick and bled a tiny bit. So there was no indications that it was there, that there was an underlying issue there. That was 4 days before the qualifier. And because Jazz can pick at her feed sometimes, it went unnoticed. No temperature, no coughing, no nothing. Then they put her in to qualify 4 days later, went to tramp on the gas pedal, and that mucus that was in there, that blood, caused some irritation. And she also tied up a little bit. So between tying up a little bit, now she was sick, and there was some irritation in there. She bled a little bit. She had a horrendous qualifier. So we scoped her, drew her blood. The veterinarian looked at what he saw in the scope, looked at what he saw in the blood work, and said, 1, she'll be fine. 2, I think you should put her on Lasix, which was surprising. Not the end of the world. So we put Jazz on Lasix, give her a week and a half to clean up. And then I was here on Saturday. I said, I'll train that filly in the race bike, make sure she gets Lasix. So we trained her on Lasix. I trained her. I get up the quarter in 32-2, half in 102-1, a mile in 159 flat. Last quarter in 28-1, 28-2. It was starting to get a little windy too. She was real good. Now, Kirby did have a video of it, but I believe there was some expletives in the group area, so it wasn't posted. And he said it was shaky and you hear the wind, and Kirby's a perfectionist. She's like Steven Spielberg with the horses. He didn't want to show the video, but she trained very, very good. I suspect we'll come right out with a qualifier, and we scoped her after. No blood, no mucus, no nothing. She looked good. She felt good. If it's a hot day, no wind, I think we qualify her at 57 next Thursday at Northfield Park. That would be my feeling, so that we can send an email and a phone call off to Mr. Kydell, who is the race secretary at Miami Valley, and say, hey, this affiliate made $117,000 win the Breeders last year, or whatever it's called at the Ohio Breeders, or whatever it's called on Jugette Day. For your consideration, she's now ready to go. Had to miss the other race. As you can see by the line, she was sick. I would hope and pray that we get into the Scarlet and Gold. Not just a race, Scarlet and Gray, not just a race, but the important thing is there's not a lot of racing for this filly. So if she doesn't get in, we may qualify her another time and look for a race somewhere, but I'm not going to race her in a straight numbers of 4 and get her head kicked in as a sophomore filly. So we're hoping for the Scarlet and Gray with her. No free lunch, been ready to go. I think Harry trained him in 2 minutes or 2.2. He's going to be super ready by the time racing gets back going. Next few are important. Northern Blizzard has Curbs Crowd. James, I'm glad he has time, because I think this horse is going to be really good. Very happy with what I've seen. We had trained him in 2.8 at Mohawk before the shutdown. I think he'll be ready to rock by the time the qualifying starts. Perfect Record. My only concern with Perfect Record is he trained him in 2.2 2 days out. This horse has never been known for his depth and his toughness. Very happy with him. Very interested. I think he'll go a good mile on Monday, but he's going to have to go easier with him. I think this is a horse that could race in Saratoga, Plain Ridge, and even the Meadowlands if we can get him in a better spot. So Perfect Record, I think Mark Beckwith has a pretty good handle. I think he felt that he had to train him hard to get a feel for him, and he may be right. I would rather him train hard and then have a good race than not train hard, make a break, and say, I think I know what happened, I'm going to tinker with him. So probably what I would have done also. So Perfect Record, I think he's picked for second. The horse beside him is 3 for 3 and winning 2-1, but if that training mile didn't bother him any on Saturday, I think the horse beside him is going to have his hands full. Rose Run, Why Not? Ready to start training back. She came up a little sore last week, but it wasn't her knees at all. It was her foot. She jumped on her foot, maybe bruised her foot. I thought she looked better the other day. She'll likely join us here in Ohio very, very soon. Cyrus Blue Chips got the rail. He said he's pacing the turns good, a little rolly in the straightaways. I said, if you'd have watched his races from last year in his training sets, that's good for him. You don't have to worry about him making a break, so you don't have to worry about, hey, we'll give him a start. Just let him rock. So hopefully he does. He's got the rail on a half-mile track. Make good with it. Sweet Ambition. Sweet Ambition. I can't stop talking about this filly. This is a filly that when I looked at the program, when I looked at the race, knowing the filly, I'm like, I know she's got more gate speed than these horses, but I don't want to, empty her tank early. I'm thinking 58, 59. She's okay. 56-1 was not even in my mind. You couldn't foresee a mathematical way that you could convince me she could win in 56 from any position at the Meadows on Friday afternoon. You just couldn't do it. Couldn't say, but what if she? There was no but if. But what ifs? She was not going to trot in 56-1, but she did. Not only did she do it, I gassed her out of the gate. 28-1, cut the second favorite loose. Knew that he was going to have to tangle with the guy in behind me, Jim Pantliano, with that trotter in behind me. She cleared to the front. Now, if she was as good as she was, if I knew she was as good as she was, I just would have come first over and throttled them. But I couldn't. So I wait. I snuck out in the last turn. I'm saying, geez, if I'm third, she's going a good mile. Halfway down the lane, I'm like, I'm going to be second. 100 yards to the wire. I know I'm a winner if I get that. I can't believe it. Now I'm stunned going under the wire. 56-1. Last quarter in 29. A huge mile for this filly. This is why we love this game, because you just can't tell. You don't know. It was only an hour winners of 2, but the mile she went was incredible. This is a filly I didn't even take out of Ontario, and quite frankly, may not have left Ontario if there wasn't a lockdown. I am shocked well, the mile, but over the moon for the owners of the filly. Man, she was very, very good. So another surprise of the year. Perfect record first. Now sweet ambitions. Anything is possible after that. Tanzanite Tricks. I don't want to take her away from home yet. I want to put some weight on her. So I've been pushing Cindy, jogger, maybe 4 or 5 days a week. Make sure she eats lots of food. Give her some paddock time. The paddocks right now in Ontario aren't full of grass yet, so it's not like we can say, get her out to the farm and get her on the grass. Still not a ton of grass yet. So keep her at the farm, feed her lots of hay cubes, and feed, get some weight on her. I'm happy with this filly. I know exactly what happened at Mohawk last start. She was slipping. We can fix that. That's my girl's been training down. Probably take her over next week. That'll be my passenger in the trailer next Wednesday. We'll get her over here, get her trained up. She's been training so-so. They said she trained good on Saturday, so that's good. Where are we at now? Tipsy and Dixie had been in 2-2. I think Harry said she was awesome, so she'll be ready to go when they're ready to open up. Perfect example. This is a filly with 3 wins and 50,000 made. Good luck racing her in the U.S. You have to race her in like the Hambo Oaks or something. She'd have to race against, seasoned, aged veterans, and it just makes no sense. So Tipsy and Dixie be ready the day they're ready to go. Walk on the Moon trained in 2.8. The last day I was there, I trained with Oso Pine with him on Wednesday. So Walk on the Moon's ready to go at any point when they open up. Also, Where We Welcome had been racing. My expectations for Where We Welcome are tempered. I think she got all the ability in the world, and I think she's quite happy not using it all. I don't love her work ethic. I don't love her attitude, but she's going to make money. She's an overnight horse that trots all day, can leave, sit, do whatever you want. So she'll make a racehorse for sure. Well and Down. No, I want to say she was disappointing last night. Something was up with her. The rain started pouring down. The wind really picked up before the race. Did that play a role? Maybe, but everybody else had to race in it. I went to leave with her. She didn't really want to bounce out of there. I moved her second over. She was stronger in the turns than she was the straightaways. What the hell does that tell me? Left hind, maybe? Feet, maybe? I'm not sure. We're going to get her checked out by the veterinarian, and then we'll have her back in to go next week. And then Won My Heart Hanover, somebody had said, wow, do they not check the shoes on the horses? Yeah, they check the shoes. Absolutely they do. So do I. But when you got flip-flops, it's easy to grab that rubber part at the back and rip that shoe off sometimes, and that's what happened with Won My Heart. And the fact that she trotted good afterwards was awesome. I think she just kind of startled herself and couldn't catch her gait. She ripped the shoe off, and that's quite a change. Hitting the track with your bare foot instead of that rubber pad. She just, if we had, I really believe, if we had been maybe 6 lengths in front of the turn when she ripped 6 lengths further in behind when she ripped the race. What I mean is, where she ripped that shoe off, if it had taken place even 6 lengths before that, I think I could have got her settled before the turn, but we were just too close to the turn, and she just got a little anxious and rolled off, but trotted great after. This is a filly I think will do fine in the final also. So, theoretically, in the final, if I can convince James to come over, James would drive a Glare AM, I would drive Won My Heart Hanover, and hopefully make a good final of it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But for now, Won My Heart Hanover, pretty easy fix. She's back at the... I brought a Glare AM and Won My Heart back to Northfield. We're going to school them on Thursday. Make sure they're ready to rock for the following Thursday's stake final. So, that is your sophomores, your 3-year-olds. I'll be back. Still got a little bit to talk about. I'll be back in just a minute.